Good afternoon, everyone. I am happy to be spending the next 1 to 2 hours with you, where we will be discussing a topic that is absolutely vital to our success as researchers: effective means of citing and referencing sources. So today we will cover practical and usable techniques to cite and reference correctly so that our work is credible and plagiarism free. Before we get started on the contents, let me briefly introduce myself so you know who is speaking to you today. My name is Aliyu, and as you can see, my educational journey is ongoing. I am currently pursuing my PhD in electrical and electronics engineering at University Technology Petronas, Malaysia. Prior to that, I completed my MSc in electrical engineering in 2021 at Ahmadu Bello University. And I also obtained Bachelor's of Engineering in Electrical Engineering in 2017 at ABU also. Professionally, I am at the rank of Lecturer 2 at ABU, starting in 2021. And before the promotion, I served as an assistant lecturer between 2019 to 2021. My research interests include power electronics, grid forming inverters, battery management systems, and optimization techniques. And I am also a proud member of professional bodies like the IEEE and the NSE. So now let's look at our plan for our time together, maybe next 1 to 2 hours, our overview. We'll be looking at first, why cite and reference. Second, when is citation necessary? Then selecting a citation style. Then we will move quickly through the major citation styles, where we will look closely at the IEEE and the APA style in particular. We'll also look at reference management tools for efficiency, including a hands-on session to demonstrate the use of Mendeley, and if time permits, we'll look at Zotero also. And finally, we will make some conclusion and some resources. So before I proceed, just a confirmation that my slide is moving.
Yes,
and
please.
Okay, all right. So thank you for the confirmation, Doctor. So let's start with definitions, because these two terms are often confused: citations and references. So when we say citation, what do we mean by citation? A citation is the marker in the text. So when we are writing, there is usually some specific markers in between our writing. So those are citations. They are the markers in the text. So it is like a quick signpost that are connecting our idea back to a particular source. So, and usually how these citations are identified, they include the author and the date, or number, depending on the citation style. So it can be in the form of author and date, or it can be in numerical number, depending on the style we are using for that write-up. A reference, on the other hand, provides a full bibliographic details, and it is found at the end of our work. It guides our readers to the exact piece of work that we have cited. So what are those bibliographic details? So a citation, like we said, it's like a marker. It's showing that this particular piece, this particular information, or this particular sentence, the source of this sentence is this is the source. So that marker shows the source. So how do we now trace that marker? we need to know the full bibliographic details. Say, for example, we have this journal article. We want to extract the full bibliographic details. So usually these full bibliographic details, what we need are, first of all, we need to know who the authors are. We need to know the title of the article. We also need to know the title of the journal. Then we need to know the volume, the date, the article number, and in some cases, the page number, depending on the type of journal. Some journal uses page numbers for their journal articles, while some journals use article numbers. And we also need to know the DOI, the Digital Object Identifier. So why do we bother with this process? There are many reasons why we cite and reference, among which are, first, we need to acknowledge others. So this is fundamentally about ethics. We must give credit to the original authors and avoid plagiarism. We also need to support our arguments. As we are all researchers, our claim must be substantiated with authoritative evidence. Citations provide that bedrock for us to be certain about our arguments. So we also need to guide our readers so that they are able to locate and verify the sources we have used. And we also cite and reference to demonstrate research. In this sense, citation shows that we have engaged widely and deeply with the relevant literature in our fields. So knowing when to cite is also as important as knowing how to cite. So we must cite when we quote directly. So whenever we quote directly, we must cite. We must also cite when we paraphrase or summarize someone else's idea. So this is the most frequent missed requirement. If the idea is not yours, you must cite it, even if you put it in your own words. We must also cite when we take from a data or a statistics or some theories. We must also cite if we are not the original authors of images, graphics, tables, and also figures. So when is no citation needed? We do not need to cite for well-known facts and dates. If it is a well-known fact and a well-known date, we do not need to cite that. We also do not need to cite widely known sayings or proverbs, and we also do not need to cite our own analysis or experiences. Say, for example, we are writing a paper or we are writing our thesis. Usually, there is a particular section in a journal where it is results and discussion. So in that section, it is not expected that we should have citations. Why? Because it is your own analysis. You are analyzing a result you have obtained. So it's your own form of analyzing your results. It's your own idea you are interpreting. So it is not expected that you should cite that. So this is some example. Let's clarify the idea of common knowledge. So if we say, for example, water boils at 100 degrees Celsius at sea level, this is a well-known fact. And we know that Abuja is the capital of Nigeria. It's a well-known fact. So in this regard, we do not need to cite because these are globally accepted facts. However, caution is required when dealing with facts that are not widely known outside or perhaps even inside our own specific field. If we are presenting a specific statistics or a table or maybe an interpretation, even if maybe you have memorized it from another source, you still have to cite that particular source. Say, for example, we are talking about renewable energy, and we say the rate at which renewable energy is being utilized is growing at the rate of, say, for example, 8.1% annually. So this piece of information, we need to cite it. There should be a particular source. Why? Because it is not a well-known fact. So we should have a particular source for that information. So if we are uncertain, there is a rule. So let's remember this rule. When in doubt, just cite the source. It is always safer to cite than to risk plagiarism. So now let's look at the difference between quoting and paraphrasing. Quoting means we are using the exact words from a particular source. Exact words from a particular source. So it's just like copy and paste. So if we are taking a short quote, we usually enclose them in quotation marks. And for long passages, usually around 40 and above words, we format them as a block quote. And usually when we quote, then we need to provide the author, the year, and the specific page number that exact wordings appear in that particular journal article or paper or book or any other reference material. So we need to be specific and cite that particular quote with the author, the year, and the specific page number. Paraphrasing, on the other hand, means you are restating an idea in your own words. So you have read a paper, for example, and you now understood the concept that that paper is trying to establish. So when you take that idea and rewrite it in your own words, you have paraphrased that, but still, you still need to cite that particular source. So the goal is to capture the original meaning accurately by condensing the information. So the restated information must be integrated smoothly into your text. So it's not just all about taking piece of information, paraphrasing, and just including in your text. The flow of your own message, what you want to pass across, the flow of your own writing should be very, very smooth and integrated into your text. So as I have said earlier, even though the words are yours, but the idea does not belong to you, so you must still cite the original source. So now, here is a quick overview of the major styles and their common uses. First, we have the IEEE. So the IEEE referencing style is a key for many of us in engineering, particularly electrical engineering. So, and it uses in its in-text citation, it uses numbers. And the references given at the end of the document are arranged in numerical order. Then we have the upper style. This is more common in social and behavioral sciences, and it uses author, year formats as the in-text citation, while the reference list, also gotten at the end of the document, is arranged in alphabetical order. So we also have some other formats like the MLA, the Chicago, the Vancouver, and the AMA, all having their specific styles. So, but majorly we'll be looking at IEEE and the upper style. Why? Because IEEE is specific to us as electrical engineers, while I know the upper style is used when writing our own research. Is the one adopted by our institution, Ahmadu Bello University, for writing our dissertation and thesis. So we need to look at the upper style and the IEEE style. So looking at the IEEE style, we can see here the in-text citations are given in numerical values and enclosed in a square bracket. So in this example, we have a citation, we have a sentence, and it is gotten from a particular source. So that source is indicated by number 1. Then we have the writing continues, we have another citation again, and it is given as number 2. So usually that is how the information continues. So for every information we have a particular source for that, and it is cited. So at the end of the document, we have a particular list of references. So when we check the list of references, they tally with the numerical citation. So now we can see that citation number 1 corresponds to our reference number 1, meaning that that particular information that was gotten from citation number 1, if we need to check to confirm, we can easily go to this particular reference. S holds assessing the managing security risk unique to Java and .NET. So that is the information source. So we can easily search for that information, and we will be able to see if that particular information is actually gotten, or maybe it was also not the proper citation. So in a narrative, usually maybe we can have, instead of writing the citation at the end of the text, we might maybe put it at the middle of a sentence. For example, we can say according to, so we can say maybe according to citation number 1, or maybe according to citation number 3, so and so happened. Or we can say as demonstrated in source number 4, we have this, and this. So if we are listing several sources, we separate them with commas, just like you can see here. You can see after citation number 1, citation number 2 and 3 are together, meaning that particular sentence was from citation number 2 and citation number 3. So you can see they are separated with commas. Likewise, when you have more than 2 citations, they are all separated with commas in the IEEE style. So if the first source is assigned an in-text citation of number 1, the next is going to be number 2, the next is going to be number 3, and that is how the sequence continues. So if we need to cite the same source again, say for example, we have cited source number 2, and along the way, after citing 10 other sources, that particular information was also cited from source number 2. So still, we do not need to change the in-text citation because it is still the same source, and already it has been assigned a citation number 2. So at that particular place or anywhere it also appears in our document, it will maintain that particular source number. So let's quickly look at the upper style also. So for the upper style, which is also widely used, the in-text citation used is the author and the year format. The author and the year format. So in a narrative, for example, we can say David 2021 argues. So if the citation, if we want to cite at the beginning of a sentence, we have it in this format. Only the year will be in brackets. But if it is at the end of document, so if it is at the end of a sentence, both the name of the author and the year, both will be in brackets. But at the beginning, we have, for example, David is the name of the author, then the year only will be in brackets. So David 2021 argues that so, 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 and so happens. Then our reference list, usually we start it at a new page, double spaced. And the difference between upper style and the IEEE style is that in IEEE style, our references are given in the numerical order that they appear in our text, while for the upper style, they appear in alphabetical order. They appear in alphabetical order. So, for example, if a name of the author is Zaharaddin, for example, and it was the first citation we have included in our documents, when we check the list of references, it is going to come last. Why? Because in the references list in upper style, it is arranged in numeric and in alphabetical order, and Z comes last following that order. So now, when we have, this is an example of a reference, we have using the upper style, we have the author last name, then we have his first name and middle name abbreviated, then we have the year. We have the title of the article, the journal name, the volume, then the issue is going to be in brackets. Then we have the pages. If the article has a DOI, then we include the DOI. If it is a book, we follow the format of the author last name, first name, middle name, then the year, the title of the book, and the publisher. So we are going to all demonstrate how to see this as we proceed. So to help and to manage all these details efficiently, we need tools, because like you can see, most of the referencing styles have their own different formats. So there are reference managers that enable us to reference and cite our sources efficiently. So these reference managers, they are very essential and they help us to organize our sources. They can also help us to make some notes or annotate our PDFs, and they automatically generate our citations and reference list. All we need to do is get the proper document or the proper bibliographic information. So from that, automatically our reference managers will be able to format our citations and references. So among the many reference management tools, the major ones we have are the Mendeley, Zotero, and EndNote. So Mendeley is free, and it is also excellent for organizing and annotating. It also uses a word plugin, and you can also synchronize across many devices. Zotero also is an open source. It's free also, and it can also integrate into our web browsers. EndNote, however, is a paid version. It's a commercial version, but it also has a robust database. It makes collaboration very easy. So if, for example, someone has a subscribed version of EndNote, you might want to maybe explore and see how to efficiently utilize the use of the endnotes. So now, first of all, we are going to look at using Mendeley effectively. First of all, we'll show how to create an account and install the Mendeley desktop and also the site plugin. Then we demonstrate how to use the web importer to capture references from databases and websites. We'll also show how to organize our libraries into folders and tag our documents. We'll show how to open PDFs, highlight and annotate key passages, then insert our citations directly into Word using the Mendeley site, and then we can also synchronize our library across devices and maybe share collections with our collaborators. So let's quickly start the demonstration. So let me stop the share. So I hope we are together, please. Hope I am not too fast. Okay, thank you for the response. Okay, thank you. Okay, so I have started sharing my screen. Let's confirm if it is visible.
It has just gone off now.
Okay, just a moment. Okay, is the screen back on?
Yes.
Okay, so thank you. So this is the home page for Mendeley. So this is what we come across. I think already I am already logged in. That is why, or let me use a different browser. So you can just search for Mendeley. We go to Mendeley. So mendeley.com. So when we go to www.mendeley.com, we will be looking at this interface. So all we need to do is create a free account. So Mendeley is free. So we create a free account. So let me click that. So after clicking that, we'll be able to create an account. So all you need to do is just enter your email address and proceed with the setup. So it's just some basic information that you have to fill, your email, your name, then possibly they will ask some information maybe about your organization, and you just have to fill. It's very straightforward. And after filling, we can download the application software. Mendeley Reference Manager for desktop. So currently it's at version 2.119.0. So we can just come here and use the link to download the software. So let me go back to Mendeley. So after doing that, we can log in. After logging in, we would have our user dashboard here. Maybe we can go to, after logging in, you can also click here, download Mendeley. It will also take you to the source where you can download. If you are using Windows, you download using for Windows. If you use Mac OS, there's a separate link for that. And for Linux, those using Linux, there's also a link for that. So you can easily click on it, the setup will download, and you follow the installation process to make the installation. After making the installation, this is going to be what we install. So this is Mendeley Reference Manager. As we can see, I already have some documents already in the Mendeley. So for a new user, everything here is going to be empty. So everything here is going to be empty. The interface looks like this. We have file where we can see export all. We have what folder. In the edit, we can cut, copy, paste, and select all. Under the tools, we have install Mendeley Web Importer. So advisably, you come under tools first, you click on install Mendeley Web Importer, and also install Mendeley Site for Microsoft Word. So we have to install these two settings. So we install the Mendeley Web Importer and also install the Mendeley Site for Microsoft Word. They each have their own importance, and we are going to demonstrate that as we proceed. Then under the help, you can give feedback, support, log files, terms and conditions, privacy policy, or we can reset Mendeley. On this tab, we have all our references recently added. So on the recently added, you can see some recently added references and their added dates. So all these are added in October. We have recently read. So we have some of them that we read. We are going to see them here. Then if you have marked anyone as favorite, you'll be able to see it in this tab. Then if you have your own publication, you can easily mark them as your own publication. For example, like this, if they are, so these are some collections. So let's say, for example, under collections, say, for example, I'm writing a conference paper and I have some list of references that I'm only looking at, or I'm only reading for that particular conference paper. I can create a collection and put all my references under this conference paper collection. You can also create a collection for your publications. So if you have some publications, you can include them in your publication folder. Then, like all, you can create as many collections as you can. So now, first and foremost, after making this installation, install Mendeley Web Importer and also install Mendeley Site for Microsoft Word. So now, after successful installation, let's see, let me open Microsoft Word. So Microsoft Word. So after a successful installation, we should be able to see Mendeley inside our References tab. So when we click on References, we should be able to see Mendeley Site. So when we have Mendeley Site here, it shows that we have successfully integrated our Mendeley with Microsoft Word. then all we need to do is we can click on it. So after clicking on it, it's going to open a sidebar where we have our list of references. So all the references I have in my Mendeley application, I am going to have access to them in my Microsoft Word. All references. So even here also, I can be able to toggle between if I want to show all my references or I want to show only my publication, all those collections I did, I can be able to set it to show only that. So for all references, it is going to show every reference in my that I have uploaded in my Mendeley. If I choose only recently added, it is going to show only the references that have been recently added. If I choose to show my publication, it is going to show only references that I am an author in. So depending on what you have set. So now we have seen that it is now successfully integrated. So now, if we are using Google Chrome, for example, and we have integrated it using our browser, also we should be able to see it here. When we come to extensions, we should see Mendeley Web Importer. Mendeley Web Importer. So as when we see this, then we know that it has successfully also integrated into our browser. So now, let's open a document, for example. Let me go to IEEE Explore just for demonstration. Say, for example, I am reading this article, Transient Stability Analysis and Enhancement of Grid Forming and Grid Following Converters. So I read this article and it is relevant to my research. So how do I now take the information, the bibliographic information from this particular article into my Mendeley? So there are many ways we can do that. There are many ways in which we can take this information from this particular source into Mendeley. So we are going to demonstrate that now. First of all, if we are using the IEEE website, we have this Cite button. So we can click on Cite. When we click on Cite this, it brings out this pop-up where we have it as a plain text, we have it as bib text, we have it as RIS, and we have RefWork. So for Mendeley, usually we require bib text formats. So all we need to do is just click on download and it will download. So it has successfully downloaded the bib file. So this is the bib file. So now all I need to do is I go back to Mendeley. When I go back to Mendeley, I click on add references. So when I click on add references, I go to import library. Since I have a bibtext file, I click on bibtext. Then I locate the location, I locate where it downloaded. This is the bibtext file. Then I click on open. So immediately I do that, you can see it's uploading one file. It's uploading one file and successfully has it added. Then we go to recently added. So you can see we have sliding mode combined VSD control to microgrid inverter. Okay. Somebody is raising his hand. Can you please type in the chat box?
Yes, that would be
Or am
nice.
I
So
too
that
fast?
maybe they will be addressed at the end. So just type your questions in the chat.
Okay.
I think you can continue, sir.
Okay. So um, let's take another document, for example. So I click on cite this control of power converters in AC microgrids. I click on cite this. I download the bibtex file, download. So it has downloaded. So I can still go back to Mendeley, add references, import library, then bibtex. It opens the dialog box. I click on that and open. So you can see one file uploaded, one reference generated. So now I can click on this. This is the information. So you can see automatically I have the journal. It's a journal article. I have the title, Control of Power Converters in AC Microgrids. These are the authors. It was published in the year 2012. This is the journal name, and it appears in pages this to this. When I go down, this is the DOI. So I have successfully imported that particular source into Mendeley. So that is the first way where we can import our article. Another way is, remember we have the web plugin. We have the web plugin. So anytime we are in a page where we have our document, so let me open um, okay, so now I have full access to the document, for example. So let's see, I want to open another document. Let me just take anyone from the list of references here. So let me view this article. So I have this article. I now want to cite this particular article. So remember, one way is to just click on this cite this, we go to bibtex and download. So what if I don't want to download anything? I just want to import directly from the web straight to Mendeley. That is the use of the web importer. So the moment I click on my plugin, my extensions, I will just click on Mendeley Web Importer. So the moment I click on Mendeley Web Importer, automatically it is going to bring up that particular article I am on. So you can see, Making Microgrids Work. That is the name of the article. And the authors are Benjamin, Robert. So you can see these are all the authors. The journal name is IEEE Power and Energy, IEEE Power and Energy. So now, all I need to do is just click on Add. Or if you want to specify, you can click the drop-down menu and say, okay, maybe you want to add it to the folder of the collection of your conference paper, or you want to add it to any other collection. But say, for example, you want to just add it to the general library, my library, click on Add. So when we click on Add, it has uploaded the reference, but it was not able to touch the PDF. Why? Because the PDF is not an open access. It requires subscription. So the PDF is not available, but it has been able to take the reference. So if you have access, you can easily click on PDF and download the article, and you can also include it in Mendeley. So since it is a subscription-based article, so Mendeley does not have access to straightforward take the PDF also and attach to the information. So when I go to Mendeley, you can see This is the document. Control of power converters in AC microgrids. You can see that's added here. So it has successfully uploaded our source. So you can see this is the document. So I can download also if I want, or I can ignore that. So let me go back. So if, for example, apart from IEEE, say for example, where we have some papers we are looking at, maybe from Science Direct, Elsevier, okay, is the site having some issues? Let me see. Okay. Okay, seems maybe the site is having some issues. Okay, let me check Springer. Okay, so for example, I have this Springer article. I want to cite this particular article. Same also, you can see this button, cite this article. So when we click on cite this article, it will take us to this particular page here where we have everything we need. So this is the citation. So we can download the citation. We have the DOI, the received, the acceptance, published. So this is the full bibliographic detail. So we can download citation. So when we download the citation, you can see it has downloaded. So having downloaded that, we can easily also come to references. Is it BibTeX? Okay. So there are two formats. That was it. Did I close the tab? Okay. So this is the citation we have downloaded, right? When we check our folder, the format here, remember in the previous ones we downloaded as BibTeX. Here the format is Research Information System Document, RIS. It's an RIS document. So likewise, we can just go to Mendeley, add reference, import library. In this case, it is an RIS file. So we click on RIS. Then we click on our citation, open. So automatically, you can see enhancing grid stability through this. It's a journal article from the Journal of Electrical Engineering. So this is the abstract, this is the DOI, this is the ISSN and all. So that is another way of downloading references. So now I think I have demonstrated this, right? For the web importer, you just click here. After clicking web importer, so it will take the reference. So we just add. So if we have access to the PDF, it's going to add. If it does not, it is not going to include the PDF, but it is going to include only the bibliographic detail. So in this case, you can see it's ticked. So it means that we have successfully imported this small signal stability. So when I go to Mendeley, I should have that small signal. Let me sort. Small signal stability. So and another feature is you can also search for your articles. So any article you want to search, you can search either based on title or based on author. So you can search any author name. Let's say, for example, I'm searching for the author Suleiman, for example. So any work here that I have the author, it's going to show. So you can search based on author or title. Let's say if I have any paper bearing renewable, you can see renewable and all. So now, without wasting much time, let me go to. So you can see automatically all the references I have included there, they have immediately appeared here also. You can see the last one I downloaded was this small signal stability analysis, right? This is it, small signal stability analysis. And you can see automatically it has appeared also in Mendeley site. So now, say, for example, we have, let's generate some random text. This is just a random text. So now, assuming this is part of my document and I want to make a citation this particular point. First of all, I will go to the citation settings. In the citation settings, you can see this is the present citation style, American Psychological Association, which is APA. So when I click this, I can be able to have access to many other citation styles. Here I have APA, I have Global Energy Interconnection, Helion, IEEE, Vancouver, the American Sociological Association, Nature. So we have many citation styles actually. So if I want to, so now it is set to American Psychological Association, APA style. And remember, APA style uses author name and year, author name and year as a citation. So now, at this point, I want to make a citation. All I need to do is I will come to my Mendeley site. I can scroll to any document I want to cite. I can scroll to any document I want to cite, or if I know the title, I can search for the title. Let's say, for example, enhancing something. So any article that has enhancing, it is going to show. Or instead of the article title, I can also search for a name. Let's say, let me search for Suleiman again, for example. So any article that has an author named Suleiman, it's also going to show. So now, so say for example, I just want to cite this journal article or this source, small signal stability analysis of this. So I just click and just insert citation. So you can see automatically it has added my citation. This is it. Saidian et al. 2021. This is my citation. So at this point, for example, I need to add another citation. Let's say I need to add this citation and this citation, 2 citations. So you can see I have selected 2 citations. It showed here insert 2 citations. I click on it. So you can see Rofosky et al. 2008, Vasudevan et al. 2025. So the more I continue, I will have more and more citation. So if at the end of my document, let's say I want to have my reference list here, I take my cursor to where I want the list of references to appear. And then all I need to do is I go back to Mendeley site, I click this 3 dots here, and I select Insert Bibliography. When I click Insert Bibliography, it will ask me if I want manual updates or keep live updates. So personally, I prefer to keep live updates. Why? Because sometimes you might forget to include a reference at the end of your document if you choose to do it manually. The sole purpose of having these tools is to simplify things, to make things easier. So it's better to keep the live updates such that you do not have to bother about anything or forgetting about citing a source or forgetting about maybe you cited, but you didn't include it in the list of references. So when you keep the live update, automatically as you cite, it is going to update the list of references. So you can see now, we have our first citation, Saidian et al. 2021. You can see we are using the upper style. And in the upper style, as we said earlier, in the list of references, it arranges them alphabetically. So you can see Saidian et al. 2021, it now comes second in the list, but it is the first cited here. So you can see we have Korobowski et al. Then we have Vasubedan et al. 2025. So these 3, we cited 3, and in our list of references, you can see we have cited 3. And when you look at them, they are all in the correct and proper formats, because all the formats are already standard and built in Mendeley. So we do not need to tamper with anything. So now, for example, at this particular point, I need to add another work. So let's say I choose this work and this work, and I include the citation. So you can see I have included Lee et al. 2016 and Liu et al. 2024. Now I have a total of 5 citations in my document, and automatically you can see it has added the 2 other citations I have done. So that is the advantage of keeping the live updates. You can see automatically it has updated my list of references. Instead of maybe at the end of the document, I have to maybe go through it again. Okay, I cited Lee et al. 2016. Do I have it here in the list of references? So no need to do that. Already automatically it has captured and included in the list of references. So if I add another reference here, let's say, let me scroll down. Let me say this and insert. So Aliyu et al. 2024. So you can see now it's the last citation, but due to upper style, it is now the first because Aliyu comes first alphabetically before others. So you can see. So and automatically it has included in the list of references. So now, what if maybe I have been using upper style? Suddenly, maybe after completing the document, I found out that I am to use the IEEE style. So do I have to now go back and redo everything? No, all I need to do is I just come back here and change the citation style. And immediately I change the citation style, automatically it is going to update to the new citation style I choose. So change citation style. Let's say I now want to use the IEEE style. I just click on update citation style. So you can see automatically it has now updated. You can see instead of having the author and year, it is now numerical. 1, this is 2, 3, this is 4, this is 5, and this is 6. And as you can see, it is no longer arranged alphabetically. It is arranged based on the sequence that I included, based on sequence that I added. So the first reference I added, the first citation I added, this is the corresponding reference. The second reference, this is the corresponding reference. The third citation, this is the corresponding reference. And if I choose to add another one, let's say, for example, I cited this particular source number 6. And I now found out that I need to cite 2 sources. All I need to do is I just click on cite number 6 and locate the other source. So if the other source is, let's say, this, and I now just save changes. So the moment I save, it is going to update. So you see, I now have 2 references here. So if I add another reference here, let's say I add this reference here and save. So automatically, it is now going to shift the order sequence. You can see 1, 2, and it has included. The second reference is now this, the third, and it has shifted up till number 8. So here, I cited DPAN, for example, as number 2. If I want to cite it here again, all I need to do is, let me search for the name of the author. Okay, here, it's Pan. So you can see, I just searched the name of the author and it brought some suggestions. So just 2 papers having that author name, and I am interested in this paper. So I include it and save changes. So you can see it maintained its citation format because it's already in the second, it's the second citation. So anywhere I add it in the document, it is still going to maintain that second, citation it has. So wherever I cite it, it's still going to be number 2. If I add another one, it's going to be number 9. So likewise, that is how I continue till I finish all my citation. So now let's go back to Mendeley. So let's say I open this document. Okay, let me look for some documents that I have their PDFs. Okay, I think I have the PDF for this. Okay, let me search for another one. Okay, say for example, this document here. If I have the PDF, I can just double click. So double clicking will open the PDF, or you can just come here and click on read. So it's now going to open this document. So I can read the document inside Mendeley. I can highlight. So let's say I need to highlight yellow. So whatever I highlight, I can maybe, if this sentence is, maybe I want to draw my attention, or the next time I open the document, I want my attention to be in this sentence here. So I can highlight. I can highlight the sentence. I can choose the color. Maybe there's an error in that sentence. I can maybe highlight in a different color. and maybe this sentence is very important. I highlight it in a different color. So I can be able to do many um, many things there, such that whenever I open the document next, my attention will go to, okay, there's something I did here. So I can easily recall or remember that I have done something or I have checked something regarding this particular document. So, and I can also write some notes about the reference. So maybe it's relevant, or maybe I can just say, this is very important. This is a very important document, or something else. I can just write it here to and maybe I want to take some notes. I can just click on a new page, the title of the notes. I can maybe take some notes from my document. From this document, I can just type some notes. So anytime I come back to the document, I will see the notes I wrote. So it's also one of the features we have here. So you can also, like I have demonstrated earlier, you can create some collections. Say, for example, you are now writing your your thesis, or you are writing a conference paper, or maybe you are writing a journal paper. You can just create a collection name and name it journal paper. So you can see now it's empty. The journal paper collection is empty. So when I go to the list of my references, I can say, okay, let me select this, and this. So these articles are the ones I want to cite in my journal paper. So since I am always downloading articles, in order not to mix it up, I can just organize them. So I can say organize, add to collection. You go to organize, add to collection, and you click journal paper, add. So that's all. So I know that everything is now organized. So only the references that I need in my journal paper will be here. So anytime I open them, I will be able to work directly on it. Okay. Let me see. Okay. So I think where okay, let me check the okay. So now I think let's now quickly demonstrate Zotero also. They are similar, actually, very, very similar. Whatever you can do using Mendeley, you can also do using Zotero, just that the interface is different, and maybe somebody has a preference or a personal choice to use one reference tool than the other. So whichever one you are more comfortable with, you can easily use these citation managers to ease your work anytime. So for Zotero, all we need to do is just go to zotero.org/download. Also, we download the application Zotero for Windows, or if we are using other operating systems or Mac OS or Linux, they all have their own separate installers. We also have Zotero connector also. So here we can install the Chrome connector. So basically, it's actually the same processes. So all the processes we follow and showed during the Mendeley, it's also the same process we follow for the Zotero. So the only difference, like I said, is the interface. So now, for example, after downloading and installing the Zotero, This is the Zotero application. This is how the application looks like. So basically, they do the same thing. They have the same features and they have almost the same features. So these are some of the references I have included. So you can see here also I have the description, all the details for this. These are all the details. If I have a PDF, it's going to show here. So for example, this, when I double click, you can see it's also showing me the PDF here. So this paper also, I have the PDF. So downloading it, you can see I have PDF. So all the details are shown here also. So likewise, when we come to tools, we can install the browser connector. We install the browser connector. Then we can go to plugins. When we go to plugins, we can go to plugins directories. And in that, we can have other plugins that maybe you require. So Zotero also can be integrated into, after downloading, automatically we should have this Zotero tab in our Microsoft Word. We should have Zotero. So now just be certain about which one you are going to use, because it's not possible to use two referencing tools in the same document. For example, this one, I have already started using Mendeley. I cannot continue using Zotero. Why? Because if I add any reference using Zotero, it is going to start numbering from, since it's a different tool, it won't know that this particular reference exists. It's going to start its own numbering. For example, if I add any citation, so in Zotero, when we want to add citation, all we need to do is we click add citation. Add citation. We want, let's say we want IEEE also. Okay. So its interface, it brings an interface like this. Say, for example, we want this particular document, Suleiman et al. 2024, we click on it. So you can see it's already at the end of the document, but it starts numbering at 1. Why? Because already this I added using Mendeley. So Zotero does not consider that. Zotero does not consider that. So its own numbering, let's say 1. So if I want to write my references here, all I need to do is place my cursor here and add bibliographic entry. So you can see this is it. It has added also. So basically, they do the same thing. Both Mendeley and Zotero, they do the same thing. So coming just a minute. Okay. So are we together, please? I hope we have been following. Okay. Okay. So one more thing, let me quickly show another thing again. Another way also we can import our document is using using our DOI. So for example, in this article, this is the DOI. So we can just copy it. Let's say this is DOI. Let's copy it. When we come to Zotero, so now I want to add that particular reference. I have the DOI. I want to just copy it. I want to include it. So all I need to do is, you can see here manually, you can come to add, but this manually, it's a very tedious work actually. Why? Because if, for example, I want to manually include the details of an article and I click article, so you can see it brings out an information page where by myself, I need to include the title, I need to include the author, first name, last name, I need to include the publication, the volume, the issue, the page, the date, the series, like the information are quite much actually, and it is time consuming. But easily I can just import or download the citation, the BibTeX or the RIS format, and just upload. Or if I have only the DOI, which is a digital object identifier, I can just come here, add items by identifier. So enter ISBN, DOIs, PMIDs, ADSB codes to add to your library. So I can just paste it. This is my DOI. This is the DOI of the document that I want to include in my in Zotero. So all I need to do is click enter. So automatically it's going to include it. You can see a grid-friendly electric vehicle infrastructure, the Korean approach. So, and automatically you can see all the information have been added automatically. All the information have been added automatically. So if I want to cite that, maybe I'm using Zotero to cite. So say I have written something and I want to cite, all I need to do is click on add citation. When you click on add citation, you can also search. You can search using name, or you can also search using the title. So however way you choose to search, or you can click the drop down here. When you click the drop down here and choose classic view, when you click classic view, it is going to show you all the list of your references, and you can now choose the one you want to cite. So if this is the one I want to cite, I can say okay. Doing some error. This, okay, so I include, so you can see one. If I want to change the citation style, all I need to do is come to document preferences. So now I want to change to upper. So you can see it has automatically changed to upper. So if I want my references list to start here, all I need to do is place my cursor there, click on bibliography, and automatically I will have my bibliography. And if I can also change the citation style, IEEE, you can see it's now numbered. So likewise, just as I have demonstrated, the same thing we can do using Zotero, we can also do the same thing using Mendeley. So depending on your choice of preference. So personally, I use Mendeley. Why? Because in Mendeley, it's easier for me to see the list of my references in a tab. For example, here, if I want to cite, I come here, it opens the dialog box. So here, I don't have much options. Sometimes you now need to go and start checking, okay, what is the name of that author? Okay, what is the name of the article? So you have to go and check, and then maybe then you now begin to type, and then it shows, and then you click, and then you click. But in Mendeley, it's quite easier. Why? Because the moment you click on Mendeley site, everything is here. So I can scroll. I know that this is the article. Easily, I can be able to see all my articles. I can change the tab and say, okay, I only want to see papers in this journal article that I'm considering. Maybe I'm writing a journal paper here. So I want only articles in the collection of journal papers. So whatever I'm doing, I know that maybe the articles are not many, so I can easily scroll. I can see the article, so I can quickly click on it, insert the citation and all. So like I said, it's it's it depends on your preference. So you can either use Mendeley or you can either use Zotero, depending on your own preference. And Zotero also has the web integrator, just like I have showed here, tools, you can install the browser connector. So after installing the browser connector, you can also do the same thing. They all come to the extensions. So when you come to extensions, you can see this is Zotero connector, Zotero connector. So when I click on Zotero connector, immediately you can see it's saving to my library. You can see it has detected that this article is titled A Grid-Friendly Electric Vehicle Infrastructure Approach. So this is it. But it also do not have access to the full text. Why? Because it's a subscription-based journal. So it doesn't have access to the full PDF. So it can only import the information. If you need the PDF, you can maybe find a way of getting the PDF, and then you can import. So for example, I do this. I want to put it in my library and then click done. And that's all. When I come to Zotero, you can see, okay, I already added it. So it's duplicated. So you can see. So another feature also, you can check for duplicate items. So assuming you have many of them, it's quite difficult to see which ones are duplicated. So when you just click here, duplicated items, you can see. So I have two that are duplicated. So I can say merge two items, and that's all. They have been merged. So this one's also, I can say merge items. So now I do not have any duplicate. So in my library, these are my documents, and I do not have any duplicates. So now we do not need to tamper with the citation format. We do not need to tamper with the reference format. Everything is already standard. As long as you capture the information well and it is imported into the reference manager well, then you do not have any issue with the citation format and also with the reference format, because everything is already made standard to the citation style and already available in the reference tools. So let's go back to Okay. So some best practices and tips. First of all, we should know the citation style we are going to use early, and we should stick to it. So if we are using IEEE style in our documents, we should make sure we stick to IEEE style. We should record the full bibliographic details while reading. So if a document is relevant to you, you can easily, there are many ways like we have demonstrated, you can download the BibTeX or the RIS formats. You can use the web integrator, or you can even manually copy the details and put, but that is quite tedious since you can easily download the citation and just easily import. So you can double check the names, dates, editions, and the DOI. You should also avoid citing secondary sources, always consult the original. Use reference managers to save time, but verify automatically generated entries. So you can just easily verify, okay, do the author names tally? Does the volume number tally? But in most cases, these um these reference managers, when you import the citations, in most cases they are very, very accurate. So, and lastly, when in doubt about whether to cite, you should always err on the side of citing. So always be at the side of citing. And for some further reading, we have some Harvard Guide, some Imperial College, and we have some guide from International Baccalaureate Citing and Referencing. So I think this brings me to the end of my presentation. And if there is any question or comments or suggestions, you can
Thank
do
you very
them now.
much, Engineer Aminu, for this wonderful and very rich presentation. Uh, we really appreciate your efforts. And as you said, let's wait for Q's and questions from the participants. If there is any, please let's have it in the comment section or in the chat section so that the presenter can attend to those questions. While we are waiting for those questions from the participants, we really, on behalf of the PG office and the department at large, thank one of our own, of course, but in this case, our resource person, Engineer Aminu. We are very happy, and I think the recording as well as the slides will be shared with the participants.
Exactly.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Engineer Aminu, we have a question here from Mahmoud Muhammad.
Okay.
Who is asking, in the event of system breakdown, will his references back up on those reference managers?
Okay. So the answer is yes. The answer is yes. All those reference managers, they have they synchronize to the web. So let me show. For example, this is Mendeley. Like I said, I use Mendeley. I prefer to use Mendeley. So when you come here, you can see it last synchronized 0 minutes ago, since I am connected to the web. So ideally,
Yes.
I can work offline, even when I am not connected to the internet, as long as I have already imported all my references. I can go offline. I can go to Microsoft Word. I can make my citations. I can generate the list of references. I can do everything offline. So
Okay.
it works offline perfectly. You don't need to be connected online. The only thing you need to do online is to get the
Source.
information. Yeah, get the source.
Yes.
Get the source of the information. That's all you need to do. But you can work with these tools offline. So, and the tools, they synchronize. So if, for example, I have another laptop, if I have another laptop and I log into my laptop I log into my Mendeley account. So, you know, you have to create an account. So when you log in with the exact login details in this
On
computer
another
and
device.
in another device, automatically it brings all your citations to the new device. So you don't
Okay.
need to bother that all your citations, maybe you've downloaded many citations and maybe your computer just developed some faults and you got a new computer. So you don't need to start downloading the references again. All your references, the
Just
moment you
log
log
in with
in,
the details.
you just, yeah, exactly, you just continue from where you stopped.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Mahmoud, I hope this answers your question. The next person, Aboki, is asking whether they are going to have the meter recordings of the
Yeah,
effective practice for the two softwares, which I think we have already mentioned that.
yes, definitely.
Yes. So Murtala Yusuf is asking, when do you use BibTeX formats and others?
Okay. So, like I said, it only depends on the method you choose. They are all methods. So maybe you prefer to download the BibTeX format, you can do that, or maybe you can just use the web importer. You can also do that. So it just depends on your own preference. It doesn't matter which method you use, because at the
Okay.
end of the day, whatever method you use, they import the same detail.
Yes.
You understand? So it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to say you must use this particular method. So for example, BibTeX, I download. So it's still the same thing. Just that you can see BibTeX now I have to download into my computer. Then I go and do another step again in
Yes.
Mendeley or Zotero. Because after downloading, I need to go to the software and now upload that file I have
Fine.
downloaded,
Yes.
right? But
Yes.
maybe your choice is just come to Mendeley importer. When you just click, it's the same thing actually. When you just click, automatically it detects that this is it. The moment you add, the moment you add, that's all. You can see in this method, no need to even download, but automatically it has included it. This is a grid friendly this. So when we go to Mendeley site, you can see all references. You can see automatically it has even appeared. This is it.
So thank you very much, sir. I think for now, these are the only questions we have. The last person is asking whether they are going to have the presentation slides. That has
Okay.
been answered. So Mr.
Mm.
Nkundayo, you are going to have all the resources used for this presentation. Thank you very much once again. And we also thank our presenters for sticking to, all the throughout the workshop period. And we hope to see you in the next 2 weeks when we are going to have another session. And we hope you are going to maximize the knowledge that is gotten here. The idea is to have all that you have, what you should have to equip you and make you, make your research as seamless as possible. So we hope you are going to utilize this opportunity. When you have the recordings, go through, and it is when you do these things on your own that everything gets to be better for you. So we hope
Exactly.
you are going to put it into practice. He has clearly discussed a lot of things and in the most of details that one could have. And we really love that and we appreciate his effort. So please put those things into practice, especially the citation styles, well explained, and even the software applications that you can use to effectively and automatically do your citations with very much degree of accuracy. So if there is no more question, we will have to end it at this point. So thank you very much, sir. I think we can put the meeting to an end. What I don't know is people have registered for this workshop and you have all the mails. I don't know whether the link is going to be sent to them directly or it has to be through the PG office.
Okay, no, they will get the recording directly to their mail.
Through their emails that they used to
Yes,
register.
yes,
Okay.
yes.
So I hope you have all heard that, and that will be good. So thank you very much, and we say goodbye for now.
Okay, thank you all
So thank
for
you,
attending,
Dr.
and thank
Aliyu.
you so much.
Yeah, so all the parties.